I tell you, they are spirited people because it is their money, it's their economic livelihood they are protecting. We used to have an officer who, when I was in operations, when we go on patrols, he stands in the river and sleeps. He's tired.
In the river?
Yes.
Lexfilms TV, entertainment and more.
Okay, good morning, guys. Welcome to Lexfilms TV. Now, guys, Lexfilms TV is one of the fastest growing community channels on YouTube. You can check the numbers for yourself. That's why we urge you to subscribe. On who subscribe, we are not here first. Now, Lexfilms TV is here to inform, to entertain, and to educate you. And untina, there be new content. Now, this weekend we are speaking to the Customs Commandant of the Training Academy, Mr. Appiah-Warden. Now, talk of experience. Where he started from. Okay, so like we've been telling you, this program is sponsored by Pomasi Plumbing and Building Works. Sanitary fittings. Now, change it. Now, Pomasi Plumbing is telling you that Omodin Cheshefo Fraba. Say, what are they? Wherever you buy the thing from, they will deliver to you for free. Yes, free. So take the numbers beneath our screen and call them. Call them. Maybe I will be wherever you are delivered to you for free. Okay, let's go.
Lexfilms GH.
Lexfilms TV. What does it? Lexfilms TV. Lexfilms TV. What does it?
Lexfilms TV. Just go to my YouTube, then subscribe, then have fun.
Lexfilms TV, entertainment and more.
Thank you very much for, first of all, accepting to even speak to us. Yeah. How did it begin for you? How did it start for you?
Well,
from your schooling, I mean, where it all began?
I schooled at Achimtafo, Philippine Secondary School to be precise, for 7 years. And at the time we completed sixth form, there was an embargo on employment. So everybody will have to find some work to do. So we became hustlers in Accra. Until one day, it is interesting, I was sitting with one or two friends. And they got a paper in which they had put roasted plantain in. Then whilst we were hustlers, that's what we used to eat. Whilst we were eating it, I saw it was in the Spectator. Then I saw an advert. I said, wow, this advert may be good for me. So I picked the paper and then put it into my pocket. Started reading about it. So I decided to apply.
At the time, did you have any intention of applying, or just because of the paper that made you to want to apply?
I had been somebody who had always been working with detectives before. Yes. That most of my friends at that time had been policemen, and then CIDs, people from the Criminal Investigation Department, and other things. And most of them had accepted me among their midst. So it was like a wannabe syndrome. Yeah, I wanted to be a law enforcement agent. But I had not seen a customs officer in uniform before. I did not know where they worked, neither exactly what they did. So it was the day I came to Accra to come and hand over my application letter that I saw some beautiful marine blue and royal blue uniform being worn by one or two people. So I asked.
Is it same as? Sorry, is it same as what they are wearing today?
It is with a little
Similar. Okay.
Yeah. So I asked, and I was told that that is the new uniform which they are proposing to wear. It was very catchy. So I fell for it. And I started reading about what they do as the customs. And I said, wow, I think this is a place where I can also work. So even I remember during my interview, they asked me, why don't you go for a job at Parks and Gardens? And I told him, sir, I want to wear your uniform.
This should be about how many years ago?
That is 38 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. That was 29th December 1984. Yes.
That's a very long time.
Yes. So I told him, I like your uniform. I love your uniform. Then one of the interviewers said, so is it because of the uniform you are carrying? I said, no, but if you wear this uniform, any job they give you, you will do it well. So they started laughing. I also wore my serious face. In fact, even the shoe was something special. I said, wow, I'll wear it.
Okay, guys, it's getting interesting. Okay, so Daddy, you know, most of the time, this kind of decisions, no, they come with some kind of how do you have to talk to your parents, you have to talk to maybe speak to a guardian before you're able to conclude. At the time, your father or your parents were they okay that you were joining the custom service?
Well, I don't think I needed
approval.
their permission before, because already I was to be sent to Bunsu Cocoa College to go and teach, and I decided I won't go. So it was such that time was a different era, because we had a lot of options which were not very good. People going to people's militia, CDR, and all those things. So if you have had a pensionable job with the customs, I don't think any parent will. And besides, my mother, my late mother, when I told her I had admission, I remember she was very happy. But one thing she told me, and that was all. She had not told me to go and bring money to her, because she was a retired stenographer.
Okay.
And the old man was a retired headmaster. So I'm from a very strict home. So at that time I had to take my own decision.
So it's safe to say you from your upbringing, you should have been an educationist. Is it safe to say that?
And I am now. I'm teaching. You see it? So as I said, maybe I was born to teach. That is all. From Form 5, I dodged training college. 6th Form, I dodged Cocoa College. I came to customs. I said, come ahead, the training school. So still a teacher.
So you are still back to
So maybe Jonah. Maybe one day I have to add Jonah to my name.
Okay, guys, Lexfilms TV is sponsored by Commercial Plumbing and Rest, like we've been telling you. It's getting interesting. This is history. What is here? Aha. Okay. So fast forward. Now you are the head of training of the Customs Academy. How different is it from being a normal customs officer?
The commandant. In fact, you are the repository of regimental knowledge for customs. And you have to lead a life Very integral. Integrity should be your watchword. Indeed, you should not even be doing arguments.
Not even with your colleagues?
It is not advisable. Because the moment you enter into any argumentative subject and you are not able to prevail, how do you teach the person the next time? So you have to leave out of the woods so that you can control the forest. You get it? So being a commandant, it's quite different. Because during those days when I was in operations, I was a hard nut to crack. Yes. I was very hard. And I would say from the time I started work until I became a commandant, I had not got any query on my file. No. It was all commendations, awards. But it needed a lot of hard work. So it is the same hard work that brings you up to be a commandant. And you are not appointed for nothing.
Okay.
You are not appointed. Imagine you have a commandant.
It is merit-based.
Yes, you have a commandant who does not obey instructions. I mean, how can you give instructions? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Commandant, you should have a lot in your head. You don't talk much. And you should have command of the knowledge and skills that are required to perform the duties of a customs officer.
Okay, so since we are talking about training, you see, before we came on, we were speaking about we were talking about how your training, how the customs training is even a bit difficult. I mean, or if difficult is not the right word, it's a bit more intense.
Yeah.
More intense than even the military training. What is the difference? What makes it so intense?
I have been to military training and I train customs officers. So I think I'm well equipped to talk about that one. I had my military training at the 6th Training Battalion in Tamale, the Kamina Barracks.
Is this part of the customs training or it was just for you?
Yes, it was part
it was
of
part.
the customs training. After that, I had another training at my own barracks in Takrady, 2BN. You see it? Yes. These were all in preparation to take over the preventive duties because they had withdrawn the border guards from the borders. So you should be what? Physically fit and emotionally stable.
At the time?
Yes, before you can do that job.
But is it
and it's interesting.
Is it so now?
More than so.
Okay.
During those days, a station where you have a whole company of soldiers, about 33 men, 2 customs officers were to do the same job. Yes.
So that was why you needed that kind of training?
Yes. Because they were all to be drawn to the barracks. And our training was full of, I would say, fun. There was fun, but there was a little wickedness behind it. Yes, because it's not easy. The border guards had been there working, taking care of their wives and those things. And then all of a sudden they say, train this man and hand over to him.
Okay, so you were supposed to be trained by the same border guards.
They are going to tell you what to do.
Radi Yesu Christu.
Are you getting?
Yes. I think I get
that. And then you've taken away his food from his mouth. His livelihood is now going. You say he should go back to the barracks. And everybody knew, excuse me to use this word, but I use it advisedly, the border guards had become so notorious.
Were they taking revenue?
revenue, you see, during those days, commentary was being run on radio. Their wives were all the people who sold at Makola. All the cloths that were seized, box springs, all those things, were given to their wives. And there was a dual command in that goods that had been seized are not sent to that time the controller of customs to exert duties. They send it to the barracks and share. Oh yes.
This is new.
It's old.
Are you getting it?
That's right. That's right.
So they had become notorious even amongst their own
People.
soldiers. Yeah, their own colleagues. In fact, were not very happy with them. So now they say he should step down, train you come and take over, and he should return to barracks. Most of them resigned and never went to barracks. Most of them.
They had weapons at the time.
The border guards had weapons, but the weapons were not to be given to us.
No, I mean, the reason why I was asking if they had weapons because
They were armed to the teeth.
And they didn't go back to the barracks.
No, you have to go and hand over. What I mean is, after we had been trained, and the border guards, which was a commission, the border guard was a commission. It was not a service.
So, which means they had some amount of legal power.
They had every power.
Wow.
And they were armed to the teeth. And they were to be reintegrated into the army. Some of them put down their tools. They never went back to the army, because they will not treat them fine. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So you are now taking the food from his mouth. And I could remember one day when we were all lined up, 225 of us. Then one border guard came to stand there and said, "Hey, Ghana, I be yeni. Some crofo kwasiafo we no na ba ji adwuma e. We shall also teach you sense."
And they were same people that were supposed to train you.
Coming up for you.
That is how it was. So it's, I would say it was fun.
Okay.
We had a lot of fun. We tease ourselves. We do all sorts of things. But behind it, there was some sort of wickedness, malice, that these people are taking over our job. So let's break some legs. Let's crack some, what do you call it, skulls here and there. Let's let them do what they cannot do so that they will respect us. And that is it.
When you were given the nod to train, did you change anything?
Oh, it was a different
Regime.
service altogether. Are you getting it? It was a different service. Yes, because that was the Ghana Revenue Authority. And there was no border guard. In fact, we had even come to mix up with the civilian public. That's people from the Internal Revenue Service and from the VAT, that's the Value-Added Tax Service. So you cannot use the same yardstick to train them. But here it required more book than boot.
Okay. So that would have been a difference.
Yes. You have to let them understand the rudiments of tax collection, the psychology of tax collection, to let people pay tax even when they are not willing, but they do it willingly.
Wow.
Yes. I hope you are getting what I mean.
get it.
Yes. And you cannot apply those standards. Why do you want to beat somebody? You don't have to beat him. Are you getting it? But what was at stake at that time is that the one who protects the frontier is the one who polices that criminal, who is the smuggler. Are you getting it?
Yes.
And smugglers do not lead normal lives. So you have to live a counter life in order to get the smuggler. Smugglers under normal circumstances will not move in the day. They will wait until everybody is asleep. Then they will come. They are like thieves. You have to be awake.
But that's the training. That's the training. I mean, you've already said it's a bit even intensive than the military one. But does the training equip the officers to be able to handle such situations?
Modern.
Okay.
For instance, let me ask you, there are times we try to put your vision in your head, whereby you can close your eyes and navigate an area and be very effective. Are you getting it? So when it is raining, cats and dogs, and then you lie in, head down, and when it is night, he said, go through the river. You are getting to the other side. Yes.
So at times you have to apply your
You have
knowledge.
to let the officer be the counter force. Behind this, I tell you, they are spirited people because it is their money, it's their economic livelihood they are protecting. We used to have an officer who, when I was in operations, when we go on patrols, he stands in the river and sleeps. He's tired.
In the river.
Yes.
and this is one of your well trained officers.
Yeah, he's tired. He's tired in the river and he's asleep. Are you getting it?
Yes,
You would have to be in ambush at times for a whole night, a whole day. You don't come out. There was a time when even my operational staff, those days when I was in Appiah, they will cry. They want to eat something. And the best I can give you is sugarcane.
And all this is happening at the borders.
Yeah. The sugarcane has no scent. So, you come and eat kenke or anything. Yes, it has no scent. And you'll see them complaining. But that was what you needed for it. Are you getting it?
I get it. Okay, sir.
So you have to create
the
environment for them to see that there is nobody around. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so it seems our interview is focusing much on the training, but that's all you have for. Now that you are in a position to change things,
Yeah.
what would you want to change?
Presently, I think I am getting to the end of my service. I have done enough. But if I have any regrets, I will say the lack of enough money for training will be that issue.
You think the financial...
You cannot train them as you want them to be.
Even with the intensive training session.
A customs officer is not... he is some interesting being. Are you getting it? You cannot take him for an ordinary person. And what it requires to get him well trained, to be always abreast with time. Anytime the minister reads a statement, it has economic implications, and the customs officer will have to change.
That's right.
E-levy is coming. It's a taxation issue. Smugglers are going to adjust. Tax evaders are going to adjust. And tax collectors have to change their position. So anytime there is anything which has economic importance, the customs officer has to adjust. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Yesterday you heard on the news, and I felt very sad. hearing that over 400 trucks of maize, soybean, are passing through where? The northern region.
I've forgotten the town.
Saboba Chiriponi.
Saboba Chiriponi.
Yes. And you feel bad. And then the one.
Do all these places have custom offices?
How many are we? How many are we? At times we get into situations where in order to save your life, you have to let the smuggler go. Yes. I have been tied up before. Tied my hands to my back.
Okay, so
and then put at
we will let you narrate that aspect. It's very important. But you see, about is it the last time there was an enlistment or so or no? About 84,000 people applied, and I knew you would know one, and about 500 people were picked. So I'm just matching it to where you are saying you don't have. It's like you don't have enough officers to man all those places. Why don't you pick them? Is it that the government payroll is choked, as the finance minister said, or what is it?
Well, I am a trainer. I'm not a recruitment officer, so I don't think I would defer that question to
okay. We'll forgive Daddy.
But what we are talking of is that our numbers are not enough for that task. Are you getting it? And it has been so ever since. And as I was telling you, those days when we did anti-cocoa smuggling, you have about 100 headloads coming with 2 officers. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you are able to see them, fine. The best you can do is to scare them by firing, and then they will drop.
I'm sure firing
the headloads. Well, it depends on the situation.
Warning shots.
It will depend on the situation. If the person is coming to kill you and you think you can fire a warning shot and he won't mind you, stand there.
Okay, so let's you were about to tell us an interesting story. You said, and they tied you.
Yes, that is what I'm talking of.
What is the story?
So if you, one time, I went on a operation with one officer who is retired now. I don't know whether he is still alive, but I'm sure he's alive. I've not heard of Mr. Sule Jibril. And we had the 2 of us. We intercepted over 70 headloads carried by over 70 people, and they scattered the headloads of cocoa all around.
What was cocoa? Okay.
After this has been done, your job is to gather all. So the customs officer becomes the one who carry all the cocoa and put it together.
There were no rooms that they could just put them there, or they
were in the bush. They were in the bush. They were on the trails going away.
Okay.
So they would throw them away.
And run?
Yes, and run away. But they are not gone. They have gone to hide.
Okay. So you have to convey the goods.
How are you going to convey? You are 2. If you brought your car there, they wouldn't have come. So the car is at the divisional headquarters. Now you take your radio, you call, and the radio, the battery is down. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, the night is drawing nigh. Then now you'll be sitting on the cocoa, calling, and it doesn't go through.
And all that is revenue for the government.
Yes. And the amount of ammunition you have is less. So you'll be there, and when it's about 6:30,
you have to leave.
You have to chicken out. You have to be careful, because they pelt you with stones.
You are just two.
They will attack you. So, one of these situations, I had to, being the senior amongst the two, I had to release Jibril Sule. Boy, hurry up, go and cross the Kujoaba Road. Get to headquarters, Osekujo Kurum, and bring a pickup. Bring all the two pickups so that we can. So he left, and I also went into ambush, holding my gun seriously. I was there 8 o'clock. Sule had not arrived.
And all this while you were in the bush.
So I was there.
With the cuckoo.
Coco is there. So they fear to come and pick because they know you can pick a bullet. And then I'm also afraid to come out because if they see me and they chase me, I'm only one. So I was in the bush when I felt a cold metal behind my neck. I say, hey, what do you want here? Coco, no, your papa there. What is it?
And you were alone?
Yes, at that time. So you shout, whoo! Come and carry it away. I've got him because it's a saber knife. Yes. And you are lying down. They will take your weapon from you, take all the ammunition, put your hands by your side, and tie you together with your weapon and put you by the riverside and tell you if you are lucky and somebody comes to see you, fine. If you are not lucky and you roll into the river to goodbye. And that is it.
Okay, so
So it was life and death. That time. There was an officer who intercepted Kuku. They pounced on him and gave him 8 stabs. The last one was in the eye. It's called Jesini Makung from Nkoko. And you know the saba of the Zamara people is poisoned. After he was stabbed, he was carried, brought to Bonsunkwanta, 23 kilometers from Krokosue, in the forest reserve. A helicopter was released, and the helicopter, instead of coming to Osei-Kojo Kurum, went to Kwame Sekrum.
I mean, this is not a laughing issue, but most of these stories.
And this man was a former member of the Eastern Regional Defense Committee. When he died, there were a lot of rhetorics. But
he didn't die on the spot?
No.
Okay.
Anytime they sent him for operation, they did the stitches, and the stitches were rot. Yes, he died after about 2 years or 1.5 years. Whether his wife and children survived or not, I will not be in the position to say it. Even three weeks ago, Appiah, if you heard it, a young trainee who left the academy last August has lost his life. He was escorting seized goods and was in the vehicle with the driver when they had a head-on collision. And he drove under an articulated truck. Musa Abraham. He was buried 2 days ago.
And that's very unfortunate.
Yes. And, well, we are yet to hear what will be done for his wife and children.
I'm sure all these narrations, now people at home will be wondering, like I'm also wondering now, all these people that passed on in the service, in service, do they have, in line of duty, do they have some kind of monument? Do they have some kind of No, you see, because I mean, if you die in the line of duty, there should be some kind of reward. I mean, some kind of a hero's reward that you can also your family that they can use.
Maybe the commissioner is yet to consider that. Maybe they are yet to consider that. Maybe they are yet to consider that. Because you see, our lives are miserable as customs officers. Customs officers, before they get to the office, you work, even at lunchtime, you don't have time to eat. You close, come home in the night, 11 o'clock, before you find something to eat. The time you are aware you are developing lifestyle diseases. Are you getting it?
Yes.
You are always under intense stress. You know what stress develops? Are you getting it?
Yes.
So the latent ones, or the people who die quietly, are even more than what you see people dying of. And when we are talking of smuggling, it is not only in commercial goods. There are other issues which are concerned. We talk of terrorism now. I might have been lucky to have worked at an environment where I know an IED, that's an improvised explosive device. But most officers have not seen it before. Because I have seen talismans which are IEDs.
I almost missed that one. Talismans that are IEDs.
Yes.
Is it that the spiritual powers explode it, or there are some scientific?
When it reaches there and it blasts, you see what will happen. They are bombs. Yes. Explosive. Yes. They are made in the form of what?
Talismans.
Talismans. And these people, while I worked along the Ivorian border area there,
With the UN.
they could even come, pretend they are malams or they are soothsayers. They can even put it on your neck.
And
You become
Before you realize,
a suicide bomber who doesn't know he is. Are you getting it?
but don't you have metal detectors or?
Oh, my brother. Have you forgotten the story between, what do you call it, virus and antivirus? The one who creates the virus creates the antivirus. Those who prepare this, they are not mean people. I'm telling you.
They have.
You see him standing there, he's a qualified chemist. He's a qualified, radiologist. He's a qualified, graduate in explosives and other things. Don't think terrorists are riff-raff people. No. Some are very, very educated. So we have reached a stage where the customs officer should also be so sophisticated for protection of the society. It's added onto your job. When you are examining somebody's load, you should be able to detect these things if they are there. That's it.
Okay.
The job is risky. In Takrady, when we were very young officers, we know of a lady who put her hand in somebody's bag. In the long run, they had to amputate the hand because the whole hand, the palm started rotting. That is the job. I myself, for some time, If you remember, there was a period of about 2 years I never wore shoe.
For 2 years, you never wore shoe.
I remember I had to take my group to go to the shrine and arrest people and goods. And we were given a week that we should write our wills because we were all going to perish.
They told you this in a shrine.
Yes. No, after we had
After you had
intercepted
seized the goods, okay.
about 1,980 full pieces of Holland wax prints.
That's huge.
Yes. They sent one of their fetish priests to come to a flower border and come to sprinkle something there and give us 1 week that we should report at the shrine or we shall all die.
Did you believe? Did you believe it?
Maybe I'm a Catholic and I'll remain a Catholic. Maybe tomorrow will be 1 week. How many people have died from us? I think it's only Juma who is dead. Yes. But they gave us 1 week. After coming to collect goods from the shrine, within 1 week, we shall all buy coffees.
You are still here.
Maybe tomorrow will be 1 week, as I'm saying.
Okay, guys.
We went to Joji. We went to Joji, another shrine. We picked goods.
Where there people?
Yes.
Daddy, let me sell small. Okay, so guys, so like before we tell you, this program is sponsored by Pomasi Plumbing and Building Works. You know, Pomasi is telling you that they are delivering for free. But there will be they deliver to you for free. Just call the numbers beneath your screen. Okay. I hope you are enjoying the interview. Okay, so Daddy, like we said before, you are retiring in is it 7 months or
Very
so?
soon.
What will be your worst experience?
My worst experience. Whew.
Well, just give us two. Just two.
Okay. 2 worst experiences. I would say one was when a student died. The same day he arrived at the academy. And I called my commissioner. I told him, sir, 215 men arrived, 214 processed, 1 man down. I was expecting something else from that side. But he said, oh! And he mentioned that person's name. He said, I told this boy he cannot make it. Are you getting it?
It means he had a prior knowledge that the boy wasn't well.
He's
What
also
was
a
it?
very experienced military officer. And he had advised this person several times. But because of where he was coming from, because of the political power behind it, he still wanted to be. And after he came, he couldn't conquer. And he died. Arriving, and by 45 minutes he was dead. And all the newscasters, various radio stations, were saying anything they liked about the commandant.
Had he gone under any kind of training?
He was doing the arrival fitness test, which is a ceremony. We just take it lightly to check whether you could. And unfortunately, he kicked the bucket. It was a real bad situation, to the extent that I had to ground my command vehicle and at times drive to Accra with a pickup.
Were there any queries?
There should be. A human being is dead. I am in charge. I have to answer. But the source of the problem was not me. It was neither the commissioner. It was contributory negligence from his parents. But who will understand you? It was you, these same newsmen, who come around, some passing through the bush, some, flying drones to see where the commandant has passed. It was serious.
What will be the second one?
Second one was when I was arrested by smugglers. Tied, my hands at my back, my weapon at my back, and then put it down. And they left me there. I was young. I was a young man.
When you were tired, what was going through your head?
They could decide the next moment to fire you. They could kill you. And that is all. Because if they kill you in the bush, who hears it?
No, I get it, but I'm saying, what was going through your head?
Oh, I knew, well, you have gone to chase something and now you are going to have, I believed they could kill me at that time. So I was just lying down there. It was one of our officers. He was even not an officer, he was a laborer. And indeed, because he was hardworking, I had co-opted him into the patrol team. And he grew up in that bush, late Kumi. So he knew the contours of the area. After they had left, about 10, 20 minutes, he was the one who came to untie me. Yes.
Did he have any prior knowledge that you were there, or it was just by grace?
Yes. They knew we had gone on patrols.
Okay, and you were not back, so
And
they had to check.
around that place. And he knew much about the smugglers. So by all means, maybe they will say, oh, they finish him in the bush, they tie him there. If he is unlucky, and those were places which were also inhabited by very wild animals. The one who has that long horn, they call him Wansani, and those people, they were very wild. And they could send human beings far away. So they left me there.
How many kids do you have, sir?
I have a set of twins and two boys.
A set of
Two
twins.
young men, yeah, a set of twins.
Would you advise any of them to, if any of them wanted, if any of them wanted to join customs, would you advise them to join?
The first of the twins, a lady, is a customs officer now.
Oh, you already have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the first of the twins is a customs officer now. But I don't think she will be a preventive officer. She will be booking. She will not be going to the bush. I'm praying that he becomes a training officer one day.
Okay, that is so. Before we came, we spoke to about two of your officers. I mean, there was one thing that seemed to run through. All of them were saying your integrity cannot be compromised. What is it?
Well, it's my upbringing. My daddy was a headmaster. My mom was a stenographer. You know, stenographers want everything. My daddy, a British trained teacher. He will also not compromise anything. And then, me, myself, you are not a human being if you lack integrity. What will you bequeath to the world? In this whole world that we live in, I always say there are only three things. We work to make money. Is that not it? Use the body to make money. Later, use that same money to take care of the body. It strikes out. There is nothing we gain. Are you getting it? The next thing is the name. So, we have bad name, we have good name. The bad name, if they mention it, people will react. If it's a good name, they mention it, people will react. But unfortunately, when you are still alive, your good deeds are written in water, and your bad deeds are written in brass. When you are right, nobody remembers. But when you are wrong, nobody forgets. Are you getting it? So that is it. Maybe I did not come to make money. But the name too, I shouldn't lose it.
Okay, that is so. We are ending it here. Now you are nearing retirement. I think in 7 months or so. There are young people watching us now. What would you tell anyone that wants to be a custom officer? Anyone that is aspiring to be a custom officer? What is that one advice that you give them before even they come for training? Before they are paid?
I would like to tell any young one who wants to be a customs officer, or any young person who has a desire to be with the customs, take it as a profession. If you want money, go and trade. But if you want to serve your nation, then be a customs officer. Because I have known a lot of my mates, we have a lot of people with integrity inside. Though I didn't pay for them, but they have peaceful minds. There are some too, we thought they were living in the flamboyance of life. They didn't even reach home with their pension. They have left. So you have to always work and work hard. If you work hard, you will be able to live a very decent life. And you will protect the little money that is paid to you. Are you getting it? Yes. So you won't, in the long run, you do not need somebody's illegal money to make you an officer. And you are respected. You are respected. As you said, you did your own investigations. I wasn't around. Well, I don't know who and who you consulted. But if that is what they said, well, I will not say it's true or not. It is their own assessment of myself. I would not like to tell you I am like as white as snow. No. I'm a human being. I'm fallible. I have a brand. That is the Appiah-Warden brand. A brand which you cannot buy, no matter the amount of money you have.
Priceless.
That's it. You cannot buy with trickery. You cannot buy with any other unaccepted practice. But you can always get on well with me if we all follow regulations. That is it. I've served my country, I love my country, and that is all. But,
Thank you very much.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'm also grateful. Thanks for coming. And, I hope you also tell your newsmen that they should also put integrity
In their way.
in their work. Because at times, you see them singing the names of people and the public judges them. So let us watch it.
Thank you very much.
Make Ghana a better place than we came to meet it. Any generation that comes to what you call it, build and consume, it's a hopeless generation. You should come, build, and do what? And then leave it for future generations.
For future generations.
Yes. I have a habit, which I will give you, you can also try. Everywhere I go, I plant trees. Because when I was growing up at the Cocoa Research Institute, I like fruits. I'll get onto a mango tree, I'll get onto a pear tree. I didn't grow them. So when I sit in my house at times and I see school children getting on a mango tree, then they say, oh, Papa, no, is the man there? They say it's not there. Then they start rocking it. Then I remember I start laughing. They should also plant so that others will also come
and pluck.
Yes. So wherever I go, you see me planting trees.
I've seen a lot of trees here.
Yes, that is how.
Okay, so would have ended it here, but since Daddy has spoken about trees, I realize you have a lot of livestock.
Yes,
Is that the plan after retirement?
yes, I love them. That is all. I love birds, and you see me with them. At times, I even don't want them to die. Yes. So the part 2 of my life should not be the monotony of still working in the office and other things. I would like to get to my animals, my birds. Some of them have interesting names.
Wow.
Yes.
Maybe we should find some other time and come and concentrate on the farming aspect. Okay,
They
so
have names, and they are names of people I'm acquainted to.
okay, guys. So like we promised you, I'm sure you have had fun and you have also been informed. Thank you very much, Daddy, once again. Like we said, Lexfilms TV, we are very grateful for, first of all, giving us even the chance to come to your home in the first place, considering all these guys and they're there to thank you very much. Okay, guys, so like I've also been telling you, Lexfilms TV is one of the fastest growing community channels on YouTube. You can check the numbers for yourself. Now we are here to educate, to entertain, and to inform you like we just did. So go subscribe to Lexfilms TV. Now this program is also sponsored by Pomase Plumbing and Building Works. Charlie, with sanitary fittings, we did there. Your sanitary, you did there. You never want to change them. Sanitary fittings are meant to be changed from time to time. Okay, so thank you very much, Daddy, once again. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Lexfilms TV, entertainment.